Turn your workday shutdown routine into a relaxing commute. Welcome back to the Twin Win, the only live stream on the internet that helps you get the twin win of succeeding in business while winning at home so that you can stop existing and start living. We go live here every weekday-ish at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and we stream all over the internet. If you want to work with me, go to businessaccelerator.coach. And if you'd like to check me out, here are my other socials. Feel free to check me out there. Now, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and love, and comment, and all of those things so that you can get the notifications about these live trainings. Also, give me a hashtag live if you're joining me live. Give me a hashtag replay if you're joining me on replay. With that being said, let's jump into this. Let's talk about last time we talked about the Workday startup routine. Now I'm going to talk about the Workday shutdown. The reason why you need a Workday shutdown ritual, and again, we call it a ritual because we're holding it sacred. Nothing can violate this space, okay? What you need to do is what you need to understand is that a Workday shutdown ritual, just like the Workday startup being a commute into work, your Workday shutdown ritual is your commute out of work. So when we work from home, again, using my example, I work in the basement. My office and my studios are in the basement of my home. If I just walk up those stairs without some sort of a ritual, without some sort of a transition, I'm still in work mode. I'll go up there and I'll sit down to dinner, or I'll sit down to be with my family, still thinking about the last thing I was working on, still thinking about work, still thinking about what can tomorrow bring, what did I not do today, all of those things. This is why you need a hard stop. You need a hard stop, and you need something that tells your brain, stop thinking about that. It gives your brain a way to not feel like there's an open loop. Now, I talked about open loops a little bit with emails. That's why I don't read them at the beginning of the day, is because you don't want an open loop throughout the day about your email. Well, you don't want an open loop about your work all night long. You want to be able to rest, rejuvenate, spend time with your family, and really focus on where you should be, being mindful, being present, right? So there's no point in sitting there being physically there, but mentally at work. It's not the same thing. It really isn't, and your kids will know the difference. So here's how I do this. I start my Workday shutdown routine. The first thing that I do is I make sure I shut down all of my electronics. I make sure everything, even if I don't turn the computer off itself, I turn the screen off. I make sure everything is shut down so there's no distractions, so that I can focus entirely on this exercise, so that there's no more notifications coming through. There's nothing that can distract me, and I turn it all off. So that's step number one. Shut down your electronics, at least for me. Step number two is I go through and I look at what I need to plan for tomorrow. I look at my calendar. I look at the things that need to be, and again, I do this on an analog planner, the purpose-driven planner, and I just simply flip to the next day and I write out my schedule. I write out my daily big three. I plug them into where, and again, the first thing that I write out is my morning routine, my evening routine. I block my day, those parts that for family time and dinner and all of those things are all blocked off first. Then I schedule in my daily big three. I plug them in where I need to throughout the day. And I schedule any appointments, any meetings, anything that I have on there. And I get ready for the next day. The reason why I do this at the end of the day is because it gives my brain, while I sleep, although we don't want to think about work, your brain never shuts down. It never truly stops thinking about something. So while you sleep, your brain can work on it figures out ways to complete those tasks for the next day even faster, even easier. So this is why I give it this. But I want my brain shut down from work as far as consciously. Subconsciously, let it work on that. That's exactly why I plan my day. So after planning my day, the next thing I do is I go in and I clear my messages from, the Slack, from messaging, any messages like that. I don't go into email. By the way, I have a specific time during the day that I check email, so that is the only time that I focus on it. And all of my clients, everybody knows that. So that way they don't expect a response earlier than that. So there's a specific time of day. I'm not checking my email 24/7, and I don't want to check it on my Workday shutdown ritual, because if I do, I'm opening a loop. But I'll check my messages real quick. If there's something I need to respond to really quickly, I do. If there's not, if it's something that might take more time, I put it on my list, my secondary tasks for the next day. Something that, okay, I need to get back to this. It's important. Or if it's more important, more urgent, I'll move it up to one of my daily big three. One of the things that I use, by the way, with my planner is An erasable pen. I love erasable pens because if I fill out my day the next day and then I get a message from a team member saying, hey, you need to meet with this person tomorrow, or, this is urgent, this has to be done, or you need to sign these documents, then I can just go in and erase that little thing on my daily big three and write in the more important item and move that item down to my secondary tasks. So that's why I check my messages. Again, if you have a good assistant, if you don't have a good assistant, if you're a solopreneur, check your emails earlier in the day. And then the same concept, if it's something that's going to take you time, if you need to work on it the next day, it's not going to fit in with your email time. The way to get it out of your head and to close the loop is to write it down on your planner. So you write it down for the next day. Now you do your evening planning, you see that it's there, your brain can shut down on that and says, I'll take care of that tomorrow. And you're good to go. So that's why you want to check them earlier in the day, not at night, because you might see it and all of a sudden you're like, oh man, I'm going to be down here for another hour because I got to get to this project. I need to get to this thing. Nothing that we do is that emergent, really. I mean, honestly, I've never had something that couldn't wait for a day or that couldn't be caught up on later on. And so, we're not doctors, we're not doing brain surgery, we're not trauma, ER docs that have to respond to that. So with that being said, that's why I don't check it, because I don't want the open loop or getting stuck sitting there for another hour or two to work on this project. I'll check it the next day. So after checking my messages and having my planner filled out, then I say a prayer. I close my day with a prayer. I thank my Heavenly Father for the blessings. I thank Him for the things I was able to accomplish, the health and strength that I had to accomplish those things, any good things that happen. I ask Him for guidance on anything that I have questions about. Should I do this? Should I work with this person? Should I not? Should I take this offer? And so that those things are working on my mind and in my heart throughout the night. And so that Heavenly Father knows, one, that I appreciate the help He gave me during the day, and two, that I still need His help, that I always will acknowledge His hand in all things. Finally, after saying a prayer, I will sit down in my chair and I'll do I have a recliner in my office, and I'll sit in my recliner and I'll kick back and I'll do a short meditation. Now, why do I do a meditation? Because the meditation is really the key to transitioning from work mode to dad mode. Did you hear that? Work mode to dad mode, right? That's a whole different voice. That's a whole different tone. I need that meditation to clear my mind of everything, to clear my mind of all the day's troubles and worries and excitement and wins and losses and all of that stuff, and to start thinking about my family, start thinking about my wife and my children and engaging with them. That's my commute. That's how I commute from work back home, so that I can walk up the stairs. It takes me 10 seconds to walk up the stairs, and then I can be fully present and engaged with the ones I love, with the people that I love. And that's how I win. Some people ask, I've worked with some very busy people sometimes, and they say, their spouses will be asked, well, how is it that you could do all of this, and you're running the house and you're raising the kids and everything, and they're gone, they're traveling, they're doing this, that, or the other. And the answer always comes back that because when they're home, they're home. And that should be your goal. That when you're done for the day, when you're home, you're home. You don't think about work. You don't talk about work. You don't read about work. And you certainly don't do work. I mean, that's the thing. I love to read in the evening. If you listen to my morning routine, you saw that I read a business or personal development book. In the evening when I read something that is literature, or I read something that will help me in my spirituality and my quest for a greater connection with my Heavenly Father, a religious book. Or I'll read a literature. Right now I'm reading Huckleberry Finn. I love Huckleberry Finn, and I'll read that. So the idea being is that my brain is not engaged still in work. It's not thinking about work, and I'm not even reading anything that brings me back into work. So that is why it is so important to have this Workday Shutdown. If you ask my wife, she'll tell you that when I'm home, I'm home. When I'm at work, I'm at work. And your clients deserve that. That's why you need your Workday startup. Because when you're at work, you should be at work. You shouldn't be thinking about the things going on at home. But when you're home, you should be home. You shouldn't be thinking about the things going on at work. Give liberally to whomever you are with. Give liberally to whomever you're with. If you're with your family, give liberally to them. Your attention, your time, your love, your care, your patience, all of those things. If you're with a client, give liberally to them. your time, your love, your patience, your all, right? Because your client deserves your all in that moment, but your family deserves your all in family time. So that is how I transitioned from work to dad. And that's why you need a workday shutdown. Think about the processes that you take. Think about the suggestions that I've made and see if you can't create your own workday shutdown. Let me know in the comments what you think. Give me a like, a share, a comment, a subscription. That would be great. And let me know what your thoughts are. If you join me live, give me a hashtag live. If you join me on replay, give me a hashtag replay. And remember, if you'd like to work with me, please go to businessaccelerator.coach. That's businessaccelerator.coach so that you can sign up and work with me. And I can help you to get the twin win of succeeding in business while winning at home by working less than 30 hours a week while growing your business. Thank you guys for stopping by. I will see you next time. Bye.